When a significant moment happens today, our collective instinct is to immediately reach into our pockets. We raise glowing screens to the stage, capture the fireworks, and document our lives in real time. But if you look closely in those same crowds, you will occasionally spot someone doing the exact opposite. They are standing there, hands completely empty, watching the event unfold with their phone nowhere in sight. It is easy to assume this person is bored, or perhaps just resigned to eventually forgetting the experience because they didn't hit record. Psychology suggests that leaving the camera tucked away often points to a specific, deliberate focus on the immediate environment. This deliberate non-action suggests a choice to trade preservation for participation. By removing the task of documentation, the individual is free to commit their full attention to the moment as it happens. To understand this choice, we have to look at how a camera creates emotional distance. When a lens is placed between a person and an event, it creates a subtle psychological barrier to the physical world. This diagram shows the shift in cognitive resources when that barrier goes up. On the left, attention flows freely into the environment. On the right, the brain redirects processing power away from experiencing the event and toward the technical task of archiving it. The archiving process requires pausing reality. People have to stop what they are doing, reposition their bodies, and often repeat actions just to get the framing right. For certain personality types, breaking the natural flow of life to pose feels artificial. It pulls them out of their organic interaction with their surroundings. This creates what we can call the authenticity reflex, a psychological discomfort that flares up whenever a genuine experience is forced into becoming a staged performance. For people with this reflex, the effort spent trying to preserve a moment effectively consumes the emotional reality of the moment itself. A large portion of modern photography is tied directly to sharing. We photograph to build social identity, to gather reactions, and maintain digital visibility. This graphic illustrates a trait known as a low external validation drive. Unlike the broken external loop on the left, where dopamine relies on public approval, the closed loop on the right represents a mind that gains little reward from online visibility. Because they aren't chasing external metrics, these individuals derive their fulfillment from the internal feeling of the experience itself. When a person's psychological reward system is internally driven, the compulsion to generate visual proof for others disappears. This raises a question of history. If someone refuses to take pictures, how does the brain prevent those memories from eventually fading away? Human memory functions through different encoding pathways. While many people rely on visual triggers, like a photo, to spark recall, others lean more heavily on emotional and sensory encoding. Here we see how memory is built without a visual record. The brain prioritizes sensory data. As these sensory streams pulse and integrate, the brain solidifies the event into long-term storage. The internal record remains accessible through these combined inputs. Their memory archive is simply coded in a sensory language that a camera cannot translate. Present-mindedness is an active choice to inhabit a physical space. Highly present-focused individuals prioritize participation in the now over the logistics of preparing memories for the later. This invites us to examine our own reflexes. When we reach for our phones during a beautiful moment, are we doing it to help us remember, or are we stopping to perform for an unseen audience? The next time you find yourself in a significant situation, try a brief experiment. Leave your device hidden and observe how you process the room when you are the only witness. You may find that the most profound moments are designed to be lived from the inside out rather than viewed from the outside in.